Welcome to Storm Talk, and just like with Snow Talk when I came to the snowboard, this is the Storm Board, and this is where we look at the potential for active weather days, potentially with strong thunderstorms. Obviously, we got Friday on the map, and then the 1st of March is showing up as well for an item, and then we may have to add another one here toward the end of the period, but the exact date's a little wishy-washy. So that's a meteorological term, by the way. So we'll nail that down hopefully soon. So let's talk about first off the setup today. We've got cloud cover and showers breaking out. However, this cloud cover is relatively thin in nature, and I think we'll still be able to get some breaks in this cloud deck. But you see the showers breaking out. There's two things going on here. You can see where the front is pretty much disintegrating. It's being absorbed. All the moisture is being stolen from the low to the south, and that's going to be the primary low tonight. As that low moves across the deep south, it is going to bring this band of moisture right into the heart tier of I-65 and then to the east as we head through the night. So rain chances are up there, about 60%, maybe higher in some spots. We do have a bit of dry air to overcome first, but I think we will saturate enough to get some of this rain from many locations later on today and tonight. Not so much in the next few hours or anything like that. But until then, we do have, again, kind of a haze and thin layer of clouds that the sun can warm us up. We've warmed 8 degrees in the past hour. And will we do 10 more to get above that record of 70 today? It's possible. We have enough time. About a good, I would say, 5 hours is really what we need, and we got about that window. All right, so let's talk about the setup. First off, I will say when the warm front section of this, I don't have it drawn here, but when it comes through on Thursday, it is showing a lot of instability, by the way, on Thursday, but not a lot of moisture. But that is something that we'll watch. We've got a small rain chance in for Thursday, thunderstorm chance, I should say. Stay tuned for updates on that. I'm going to look at this more tomorrow and see if we have something a little more substantial that could be developing here. It's the amount of moisture that's got a lot of meteorologists, I would assume, holding back from playing that up anymore as far as a storm potential on Thursday. But just want to at least mention that. The main issue, of course, is going to be Friday. Strong gusty winds throughout the entire day. Now, we are going above what a lot of the computer models are having, which has been averaging about 75, maybe 77. The warmest we've ever been in February is 78, since records have been capped here in Louisville. Usually in these setups, especially if you get capped, you get a strong wind, you get any sun breaks at all, the atmosphere can easily get up there to the warm potential and overachieve, as we call it. And I think the potential to hit 80 is there. That'd be one of the earliest times we've done that, especially this decade. So, thunderstorm potential. The timing on this still looks to be around sunset or just after, and we'll likely see not just one band, not one squall line, but a few lines. And they should start off as cells at first, and then form into maybe more of a congealed line east of 65 and maybe even east of 75. But it's when they're individual cells, that's when you need to watch for damaging wind potential, some hail, and isolated tornado threat, and then quickly get some colder air in here for the weekend. All right. Storm Prediction Center still holding on strong with its outlook that it had yesterday. Slight risk, good chunk of wave country. We get the new day 3 outlook late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and we'll see what happens then. We won't get specifics, though, on the outlook until we get a little bit closer in time. Mentioned those strong winds as we head into Friday afternoon. These are the wind fields barely above the surface, and these are about 46 mile-per-hour winds in the area. So very windy. It may very well be a wind advisory kind of a day, especially if we are partly cloudy. You get stronger wind gusts when you get that imbalance in the atmosphere, the heating and cooling. Partly cloudy sky, it's the worst kind of deal for winds. If you stay overcast, a lot of that wind won't be realized. All right. And then after it's all over with, WPC has a chance for some snow accumulation for Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri. Now, before you get all excited for those of you in Indiana, keep in mind, a lot of this is going to be an I-70 corridor kind of a thing. But there is going to be a chance it's going to arrive at a better time for maybe some frozen precipitation to get involved in this little wave of moisture passing through. This will be Sunday night. I don't see us get to the freezing mark, but we should get cold enough that would support a snowflake all the way to the ground, mixed in with the rain. Again, I don't see it being a big deal, but at least want to mention it, and we'll just see how it plays out as we get closer in time. Looking at the new long-term euro, I know this is kind of crazy to read, but here we are today, and here we are the 6th of April. Anywhere you see these oranges and reds, that's where you got a lot of warmth. Then we got the blues, that's cold surges. And these are the different ensembles showing up. And certainly you can see the warm pattern that we have now. You see where we get colder for this weekend. And then you start to get into March, and you see another series of cold shots coming in. So winter is not done. All right, there's going to be a lot of battling going on between the two seasons. There's no doubt on that. I mean, there's certainly enough evidence that I've seen on that to continue. Now, as we get toward late March, still some cold battles mixed in with the warmth here. And even as we did to April, more warm spells and cold spells, but you still see the dramatics of the light blue and the darker red still are there. So I think we're going to be a very busy pattern. We will be in a very busy pattern for a good chunk of wave country and the Ohio Valley in general for the month of March and perhaps even into the month of April. We've been lucky. We've really had some quiet seasons the past few years. This year, I don't think we're going to be as lucky on that. We'll take it one day and 1 week at a time.